Apple have been selling M-series Macs since 2020, moving their landmark computer series away from Intel chips and Retina displays and into the world of in-house processors, making them more powerful. Whether you use them for editing and exporting videos, running development programs, creating music, or podcast shows, and more. Today, Macs are now even being considered as being on a level playing field with powerful non-Apple computers, and there's no point whatsoever naming the competition's computer series here because we already know who I'm referring to. However, new hardware isn't the complete story of what Apple has been doing over the last few years, because they've also given us software updates that have been more intelligent than ever before, with some of these even including AI. This is Phoebes from PL Tech Reviews, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing each of the 3 latest software updates that Apple has given us, while also telling you whether they offer good enough features if you are a disabled Mac user on any of the older software updates that are no longer supported, before detailing why, despite everything the 2 latest software updates have to offer, I've downgraded my Mac to macOS Sonoma, marking Apple's formal entry into the AI era. Beyond everything they've done with Siri, macOS Sequoia is the software that introduced us to Apple Intelligence, which is capable of generating text, images, and even emojis, and a lot more, or at least it is now, thanks to these features finally being rolled out. However, we also get Type to Siri, even though this feature was also available in previous versions of macOS as well, including Sonoma, and we're also able to tap directly into Chat GPT directly through an extension instead of via the internet, which will offer an exciting feature for some people. And other than this, some other features that you get with macOS Sequoia include smart reply options, smart summaries in messages and mail, audio to text transcription summaries and notes, the ability to generate summaries you get from pages you visit on Safari, iPhone mirroring, easier window titling, improved video calling features for replacing or previewing your background, emojis, tapbacks, and other features and messages, typographic maps, the ability to solve math problems using AI and Notes, a redesigned version of the Photos app with photo collections capable of organizing your photos into helpful things, while also introducing better cleanup features such as magic eraser. And in regards to accessibility settings, it also includes over text, which displays a magnified view of text under the pointer while the command key is pressed, and personal voice, which lets you create a synthesized voice based off your own voice, although both of these features were also available in macOS Sonoma. So why am I not a big fan of macOS Sequoia, and what would I like to see improved in future versions of macOS? Well, if I'm being honest, the main reason I'm not a fan of it is because of the constant need to resize windows, whether in split screen mode or normal mode. Before I give into the pressure of various tech reviews and installed 2024's macOS software update offering, I would be able to display two applications that were capable of being displayed in split screen mode beside each other neatly, with no need to resize anything. By all means, Sonoma did limit me to only viewing two split-screen applications at a time, but no matter what, both applications will be displayed perfectly with no need to resize anything. But unfortunately, this is something that macOS Sequoia seems to have completely missed the memo on, because nothing structures itself as perfectly as it does in macOS Sonoma. This can get extremely aggravating at times as someone who regularly multitasks, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels like this. However, another reason why I don't like macOS Sequoia is because of iPhone mirroring, or rather the limits of what it lets you do. Although I actually do love the concept, I feel like it falls short on accessibility. If you're not aware of what iPhone mirroring is, it's basically an app that lets you control your phone from your Mac, or at least the apps on your phone that are actually compatible with it. So why, despite all of those features, am I not as big of a fan of it as I could be? Well, it's mainly because while the app works mainly with one click or one swipe, which is a good thing because these are movements I find easy on a Mac, there are still apps that require you to scroll down using two fingers on the trackpad, which is basically practically impossible when you're paralysed from the neck down and can only control a laptop with a stylus or a chopstick in your mouth. For this reason, while I have been able to use iPhone mainly barrier-free, there have been times when I've had to ask my kids for help to scroll down apps such as food magazines or news articles. And while I know my kids don't have any problem whatsoever doing that for me, I would prefer to be able to do it all by myself. And this is why, as much as I may enjoy the app, I wouldn't plan to update it again until accessibility settings are included in the iPhone mode settings, or until you have the option to add a scroll bar to the side of the app to use as well. Unveiled at WWDC 25 this year and made available for developers and the public soon after. macOS Tahoe is compatible with every Mac from the 2019 Mac Pro and 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro onwards, introducing us to new features such as liquid glass, dynamic desktop effect that blends wallpapers and windows together with a translucent glow, new updated app icons and customized controls and options in the menu bar. macOS Tahoe is meant to give you a more personalized experience on a Mac. And other than this, some other features that macOS Tahoe introduces us to include the ability to monitor live activities on your Mac, a new phone app that allows you to do everything that you would normally use the phone app for on your iPhone, while also giving you access to new features such as call screening and hold assist, and also introducing a feature that allows you to record phone calls and export them into notes. A redesigned version of Launchpad and Spotlight, improvements for when you create new shortcuts, improved parental controls, the Journal app for Mac, which was previously only available on the iPhone and iPad, another new redesign of the Photos app, the ability to create contact posters on a Mac, an updated version of the Reminders app that has been blended with Apple Intelligence, the Games app that gathers all your gaming apps together with options to adjust settings and to chat with friends without leaving the game. Updates to the Passwords app that make it easier to keep an eye on changed passwords. And in regards to accessibility settings, it introduces a screen reader that can understand minority languages, including Braille, and explain what is on your screen. The ability to get real-time captions of spoken audio from an app or live conversations, as long as you pair, made for Apple hearing devices, as well as to customize audio to suit your hearing, and the ability to use voice commands, vocal shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts to map your mouse to keys, to use an on-screen keyboard switch control, and to use additional pointer options. But again, a lot of these features also existed in previous versions, including macOS Sonoma and macOS Sequoia. So what do I think about macOS Tahoe, and what are my overall feelings towards it? Well, unfortunately, the way I view macOS Tahoe is as the most unnecessary software update in the history of Mac software updates I have tried over the last 10 years. As most of the features, I honestly believe, offer so little that they're basically pointless unless you're part of a niche audience, and that they give you access to features that previous software updates just did better. Take Apple's claim that this software update offers more customization and a redesign of Spotlight and Launchpad as an example. But why then would they discontinue and effectively blend what was the Launchpad app and Spotlight together, thus creating a non-customizable experience, which seems to be the opposite of where Apple seems to want to go, or where they have been going over the last 10, 13 years. By all means, there are some things that macOS Tahoe does do well, such as the Games app, and it does sound like a good thing that you can now open apps on your phone on a Mac if you want to view them. So with all this said, why have I decided to downgrade to macOS Sonoma? Well, if I'm being honest, it's because after trying out the latest updates, I now view Sonoma as the sweet spot that offers just the right amount of smart features and stability, while also not forcing cautious people into a world of AI when it's not necessarily needed. By choosing to downgrade to macOS Sonoma, I will still have access to a lot of handy features, including Apple's dynamic screensavers, widgets, including the ability to add iPhone widgets and interactive widgets to my desktop, presenter overlays when video conferencing, as well as reactions and the ability to use my iPhone 13 as my webcam should I not be happy with what my built-in webcam is giving me. Private browsing, as well as the ability to create web apps and to share passwords and passkeys should I want to. Searching via filters for people, keywords and content and messages, as well as swiping to reply and game mode, as well as a lot more. Plus, I'll still be able to make YouTube shorts in the version of Final Cut Pro that is compatible with Sonoma, as well as enjoying other creative apps. And I'll also be able to use websites to use the odd bit of AI that I might want to experiment with, while not having it right directly at my fingertips. Now, by all means, there will be some useful apps I won't have access to, and there are apps that I do in a way miss, such as iPhone mirroring. But as I've pointed out, that app isn't exactly accessible enough in its current state for me to even consider staying with it in the long term, and that actually makes it a very fair trade. And although I had an okay experience using Image Playground, it isn't amazing enough for me to continuously use it. And in a way it does seem creepy in its current state, although if you like it and use it more regularly, I guess it's a good enough reason to keep it. And while I do appreciate the fact that macOS Tahoe does have a screen reader that is compatible with Braille, I don't exactly need that feature, hence why I also count Sonoma as a good enough alternative. But that's my reasons for deciding to downgrade, so now I'm away to enjoy everything that it gives me. Well, congratulations if you've made it all the way to the end of the video. And if you have enjoyed what you have watched here, please consider subscribing to the channel. I am hoping to get back to uploading new videos twice a month at the minute, which seems to be easier, all on either accessible technology or gaming. So if that is the type of thing you enjoy, please consider subscribing, and I have all of my socials linked below as well if you would like to try them out.